Hey everyone, this is a guide on how availability works in Tangram in 2025. If you've recently used our availability system, you might have noticed we've made some updates here. I'm going to go through step by step how to use each part of the availability system, starting first at the settings to enable it. Availability is enabled in listing types. The way that this works is when you have at least one listing type set up that has scheduling enabled, you'll be given the option to modify the availability for listings and or users. So the way the system decides which to show you is this setting here at the bottom that says what level should availability be tracked at. If you select user, what that means is that all listings within this listing type will have the ability shared at the user level. If you change this to listing, what that means is each listing will track its own availability. I'm going to leave this as user for now, but the menus you'll see will stay the same regardless of which you're using. When availability is managed at the user level, this Manage Availability tab will show up on the user's profile. If it were set at the listing level, it would show up on the listings table here in this menu. When I click that link in either place, I'll be brought to this menu that lets you see a calendar view of the user's events. I'm going to go through each of the actions you can take here and how you can connect this to external platforms. The first thing is available intervals. This setting allows you to tell the platform when the user is going to be available. To give some clarity on that, if I put 9 a.m. as the start time and 9 p.m. on the same day as the end time, on January 31st, this user will be set as available from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And I can make this recur daily, weekly, or monthly. If I make it recur daily, then this user will be available every day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. If I make it weekly, it will show every week at that time. And if I do monthly, the same thing will happen at the month level. I'm going to set this to daily. Now, once we've done that, Avery Thompson is now available every day after that day we selected from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. If I go to one of her listings, for example, we'll do a booking with one of her listings to show you. So we're on test listing number 5. We're going to make a new transaction. And I can select any day here, and it will show her as available from 9 to 9. So that's how you manage available intervals. The next thing is connecting your calendar to external platforms. You can both import your external calendars into Tangram, and you can export your calendar to external platforms. I'm going to show each of those one by one. To import a calendar, the way that you want to do that is via ICS link. We've modeled this as closely as we can to platforms like Airbnb, where you want to track a lot of asynchronous calendar availability in one place. The way that it works is you go to your Google Calendar or wherever your calendar is stored, and you'll want to go to the settings for that calendar. If you scroll down here to the bottom of this page, there are these two fields here, public address and secret address. If the calendar is public, you can copy this URL. If it's a private calendar, you'll need to use the secret address. This calendar in particular is public, so I'm going to use the public one. And I'm going to paste that into calendar URL and click add calendar. And now there are these new events on this calendar that say imported on them. Those correspond to this calendar. I'm going to change the color to match my Google Calendar. And as you can now see, these are highlighted in the calendar color for my Google Calendar. You can also toggle the visibility here if you want. These imported events will also be accounted for in the availability system in the same way. If I go to February 6th, for example, we expect under these conditions that this user would be available from 9 a.m. to 2:30 and then after 3:30 until 9. I'm going to go to that day, February 6th, and we see 9 a.m. until 2:15 and then 3:30. That matches what we would expect to see. and then all the way until 9 p.m. EST. That covers everything regarding importing calendars. The last thing I'm going to show now is exporting this calendar to another platform like Google Calendar. It's the same process in reverse. If you click on the calendar settings icon again, at the very bottom of this modal, there's this iCal export URL. You want to copy this by clicking that button. And then you want to go to your Google Calendars and click this plus button here. And you want to import from URL. When I paste this here and I click add to calendar, that calendar will now show up in my Google Calendar. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to leave them in the comments below and our team will answer as quickly as possible. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day and I will catch you all later.